Hi there, my name's Ruth from Gothic Decay and I make embroidery that looks like this. So, I don't know if you remember in a previous video, probably because I'm sure you've watched everything I've ever done on the internet, haha, I made this piece and I could never quite finish it because it's a piece based on a nuclear accident, because I'm a chirpy person, and I never managed to get this dead flower to look good. So I've basically put this whole thing in a drawer for a while, come back to it to see how we go. So what I'm going to try and do is take one of these flowers here. This is a flower from a, what am I trying to say? These fake flowers, you know what I'm trying to get at. And I found it in the road. I hasten to add, I found it in the road, not anywhere worse, because it's very grubby and I haven't been stealing these from graveyards. So I am going to basically, if I put it onto here, like this, it just looks too perfect amongst all the sort of grotty chaos. And even if I kind of angle it a bit to make it look a bit more interesting, it's still too perfect. So we need to treat it with fire. So we're all grown-ups here. I'm sorry if you can hear weird squeaky noises in the background. This house is not haunted exactly, but it makes all kinds of funny noises. So we're going to see what happens. So we're going to, oh yeah, they burn quite well. Singe it in all kinds of places. Oh, that smells good. Right, okay, we'll make sure we open the window on this one. This is not a silk flower. Oh, this is why I brought my candle up here, isn't it? One moment. Duh. Now that makes life easier, doesn't it? Silly Ruthie. I try not to set fire to my fingers. Anyway, you get the idea of this, but we're going to do them all anyway, just in case there's any amusing shots of me setting fire to the house, or me, ow, like that. Oh look, they curl, look at that. You don't put as much heat on them. Oh, look at that. When they're not on fire, they curl beautifully. See, this is much more me, isn't it? All mangled. Not pretty anymore. And of course we're all grown-ups here, so fire is hot. Have water on hand in case of setting fire to house. Or yourself. Right. A few more of these. Take that in a little bit. There we go. Blow that out before I really do set myself on fire. And then have a little play putting these back together. Now, do we want all three of them? Is that a bit... I don't want it to look too much like frilly underwear, if you know what I mean. Kind of lacy and weird. Not that frilly underwear is weird, but you know, gone a bit off topic now. So we'll just have a little tinker about and play and see whether is one enough, for example. Let's try this one. Right, I think we want another one. Pop a second one in. And how's that? Does that look better? Now, next stop is to have a little ponder and see how we feel about it. Right, so we're back. I've had a little ponder, it's still not working. I think it's because it's white on white. And I think it just kind of disappears into the general yucky chaos of things. So, time for the watercolours. Now, I've forgotten to get my paint water, so that'll do. It's a bit dark, but it'll be fine. And which evil green... Oh, wow, that's a paintbrush of... there we go. Which evil green should we use today? How's this evil green? No, that's not evil enough. I think it's got to be this evil green over here. Yeah, that's bright enough, I think. So we'll splodge some water in here. And I didn't really think that through, did I? Didn't see that. So we've got a green flower. Oh, that could be one of the back bits. It's okay. Put water on it first, and then, oh, dear oh dear, if I find my brain, I'll let you know. Right, the pail in the middle. And just slop it up the sides a little bit. Not just paint the whole thing green like I did with the last one. So, here we are. I didn't like the way that they were white. The ends of the petals were white, especially against the white of the actual embroidery where they're going to be. So I painted them in yellow, in this bright yellow here. Oops, here. And then I got very overexcited because it was bright evil green and bright evil yellow. So I thought what this needs is some liquid aminos, which aren't actually liquid aminos. It's just, I think it's either black or brown. It's been so long since I've made it. Ink and water. So I sprayed it with that and it ended up all yucky and much more me. So we've now got something that looks a bit like that. You see the white against here, it all sort of disappeared. So I'm going to stitch this on with just some invisible thread and a few little stitches just to hold everything in place. And then maybe this card that my lovely sister made for me, I might borrow some of these little bits and some this is a Tim Holtz die that I think I sprayed with spray paint. But anyway, I might use a bit of that. I'll have a look and see and try and basically incorporate this, because I don't want this to just be the one green thing, but yeah, I'll just tiddle about and see how we go and maybe add a bit of stalk from there. Anyway, we'll see. So invisible thread, needle, tiny stitches in here, so basically keep stitching it until it doesn't fall off anymore, and I'll be back when I've done it. Right, so I have stitched this down, and just a few of the little, not right up to the edge because you want it to still flop, but you want gravity to help, not to just create everything to just drop down to the floor. So I've just stitched down a few little bits. You see there's a stitch there, not again, as I say, not right up to the edge, but just enough to allow that to curve but not to flop. And I put a few stitches across here to fold it very roughly in half, and then to cover up the stitches I've just stitched that little petal down. And I've stitched this, I chopped off wherever it's gone, the top bit to just have the stalky bit, and so it doesn't look too stark. I've put a few pieces of Luchador just to cover the edge a little bit. So just to prove that I am stitching it down, I will just, again, there's no magic, it's just a bit of thread, bit of Luchador, stitch it down until it stops running away. People seem to make embroidery very complicated, and I'm not saying some of it isn't very complicated and very difficult and technical, but on a basic level you want to stitch it down until it stops wandering away. So just a couple of little stitches like this, hoping you can see this. It's been a while, I'm rusty on how to stitch on the camera. Like this. And already this half has stopped running away. So I'll carry on going around there, go around the other bit and show you when it's done. Right, here we are. So that's all stitched down. And now I just want to put a little bit of something in the middle just to give it a bit of, well, so it doesn't look like half a flower. So out comes the invisible thread again. And then I've got some wooden beads from the charity shop. I think they were a bracelet. The charity shop near me chops up any of their jewellery that's broken and sell it in little packets as beads. So that's what most of this is in here. So these are little wooden ones, and they're nice and dark, but they've got this little sort of highlights in there too. So all I'm going to do is stitch some where the middle would be. I'm hoping now that these all go on my needle. Oh yeah, we're all right. Been a bit embarrassing, isn't it? Now this will be a bit of a faffy doodle because of all these petals, but there, one. And now I'm coming unthreaded. There we go. So all we do, cram them up together. See, this one's got a nice sort of pale bit on it, so it just adds a bit of interest in the midst of everything. Doesn't have to be too accurate and exact. This is not the Royal School of Needlework and their beading tutorials. This is me and my scruffy old embroidery. But you see what a pain this will be, but well, bear with it. Let me get some scissors and just joy of invisible thread if you can't find it. Come out. Out you come. Come on. I know you want to. Okay, I wasn't expecting it to be this much of a faffy doodle, but it will be a faffy doodle. There. 3. And basically just add a few in until you're happy with it. So I'm just going to add a few more to the top, because that's, I think, where we're going to see more of them. And let's try and hold you all out of the way this time. Oh. Nearly got it. Never mind. Where have you gone? There. Right, now where's my needle gone now? Oh, professional as always. Right, so anyway, you get the plan. We're just going to fill up this with some more beads. So there we are, all stitched on under there. What I'll now do is I will leave this propped up somewhere vertically and see whether gravity is my friend or my enemy. And if it's my friend, it will all stay like this very nicely. And see, because I've got it flat, they're flopping forwards a little bit. And basically, if they misbehave, I will stitch them until they behave themselves. And if they are being very good and well behaved, then I will leave them as they are. Then I will back the piece of work and consider it finished. So we have come back from the brink of disaster and created the final piece.